Hey, the best news I can share with all of us right now is first of all, it's Friday. You made it to Friday. Or if you're watching or listening on the replay later, you made it to the weekend. Congratulations to you. And that's right, 7-Eleven, go get a Slurpee. Still to this day, one of the best marketing promotions of all time I've ever seen that 7-Eleven does with their Slurpee promotion. I love good marketing. It's fantastic. Speaking of marketing, we, my friends, you and I, we have to maybe not apologize, but we need to rethink possibly about what we think about this whole Superman movie. Full disclosure, I didn't see this thing. The new Superman that's out, released nationwide last night, but at least according to Chatter Online, all this hype about this thing being super woke may not be the fact. May not be, which is a good takeaway. It's a good lesson for all of us to judge this stuff with your own eyes and ears before you go all crazy either way. Whether it's super woke stuff or you get the impression that it's going to be all woke, so I'm not going to go see it. Don't believe anybody else. Believe yourself. With that said, I'm still not going to go see it. I'll wait till it's on streaming. But interesting. I got a feeling that just the chatter online and the early reviews from like regular people, the thing may be a huge hit for the summer. I don't know. We'll see. Very quietly, one of the biggest stories that's ever happened in our country. Honestly, I'm not overhyping that. One of the biggest stories for free speech wins happened just the other day. And I held back on this. I kind of sandbagged it till today because no one's talking about it. Douglas Mackey, they call him the meme guy. He won his court case this week. And it's a massive win for all of us. We'll get into the details and some of that and why the guy with, talk about man of steel, this guy's got balls of steel. He could have gotten, they say, a pardon in the middle of this trial from President Trump, and he chose not to because he wanted to beat it in court and set a precedent for freedom of speech. That's balls. Would you do that? I don't know. If I had a pardon on the table, who the heck knows? That, and here's more good news for you for Friday. Okay, you're not a conspiracy theorist anymore if you've asked questions about contrails and geoengineering. You know, you look up in the sky and you see the lines through the clouds and cloud seeding and everything going on with that, because now the EPA administrator, Lee Zeldin, is coming out talking about it, saying, everything we know, we're going to make it completely open to the public. Now, the debate will rage on whether contrails are real. Are they playing with Mother Nature? Are they doing this and that? I have a different take on this. The win has already happened that we're able to ask questions about this already. It's a fantastic thing for all of us about transparency. That's all we're asking for, right? But let's get into it. Because it's Friday, let's start with some weekend entertainment. Guys, I don't know. I got a feeling this new Superman movie may be massive, at least according to the reaction so far. So they always release big summer blockbusters. I think all movies now on Thursday nights nationwide. And the new Superman movie is out. Again, like I said in the introduction, full disclosure, I have not seen this thing. I don't know anybody personally that went out last night and saw it because we're all busy. But chatter online from all different kinds of sources say, wow, this was really well done. Now, let's get through to the controversy. Is it true that Hollywood goes out of their way to make everything woke? We all know this, of course they did. And the social messaging and we all got sick of it, right? And Hollywood paid a price, of course. But is it also true, let me just ask you, we're all adults so we can ask the fair question. Is it also true that maybe, just maybe, we're all hypersensitive to it these days too? Like anytime we see anything we disagree with, we're like, oh, it's all woke and we're not going to go see it. Yes, that's true too, because I have been guilty of that as well. The takeaway is, and the lesson for all of us, not a lesson, a reminder, you can't judge stuff until you see it for yourself, right? Right. Let's get this out of the way. Here's what started the controversy. And even I, 2 live streams ago, 2 podcasts ago, played this as well. So James Gunn is the director. His brother Sean Gunn is in it. He's an actor. This is one of the things that set off the controversy. Just one of them.
Oh, we love our immigrants. Yes, Superman is an immigrant. And yes, the people that we support in this country are immigrants. And if you don't like that, then you're not American.
This is why you can't listen to actors. You know, if he just left it at, we love all people. It's a great movie. Come see it. Great. Because most of us will say, of course we love immigrants. We just want you to do it the right way and come in legally. That's all. No, but it's, of course, in typical leftist Hollywood fashion, they turn it into, and if you don't agree with that, you're not American. Do you think he understands the issue and the nuance with immigration? Yeah, I don't think so. So that set people off. And the other thing that set people off that may not be true, because I did a deep dive on this morning. So the classic, if you know Superman, the classic phrase was truth, justice, and the American way. I mean, that's going back to the comic, the old TV show, the classic 1970, was it 79, I think, movie with Christopher Reeves, that I grew up with. That was a great movie, by the way. Gene Hackman, Lex Luthor, and the John Williams score, fantastic. Well, that's the phrase that we all knew, and even the newer movies, right? Truth, justice, and the American way. Which sounded like this. Let's not forget. Let's go back to the Christopher Reeves movie that I grew up with.
Why are you here? There must be a reason for you to be here.
Yes, I'm here to fight for truth and justice and the American way.
You're going to end up fighting every elected official in this country.
That was pretty prescient, as they say, wasn't it? Oh, Lois Lane there. She had a good vision into the future. Boy, you say the American way, you're going to be fighting every American elected official in the country. How true that turned out to be in the 70s. But anyway, so that's the classic. The rumor had been, and this is what really set people off, set people off saying, oh, it's going to be so woke, I'm not going to go see it. So some of the marketing material, this was true, it was out there, truth, justice, and the human way. So fair or not, it led a lot of people, including me, to say, okay, why are they, here's another summer blockbuster, supposedly, that is going out of the way to knock the American part out of anything. Truth, justice, and the human way. And we're tired of just things being changed that way, right? Well, as of at least a quick search on ChatGPT, Grok, and just kind of like reading through social media this morning, the people that actually did see it last night, not firsthand knowledge, that's not anywhere in the movie. So I'll leave it at this. I'm not going to go see it in the theater. I don't really have that much interest. I'll wait for it on streaming anyway. But maybe, just maybe, that we overhyped this being woke, right? Fair assessment, because they have pushed this down our throats for like decades now. I get that. But the takeaway isn't just a good reminder. Before you judge something like that, you can't believe either way from the right or the left what the truth is until you see it yourself. So we shall see. But according to the chatter and the trending, it's the number one trending thing in the country right now, above all stories, the Superman movie. That would probably tell me it's going to be a blockbuster. But who knows? We'll see. They always judge that in like week 2 to see if it still stays there. All right, more important story. I kind of sandbagged this till today. The news actually came out 2 days ago. This was a massive, massive win for liberty, freedom of speech. I could tell you about Douglas Mackey, and you may know this story already. He's been called, for lack of a better catchphrase, the meme guy. So here's the background of the story. Douglas Mackey, and at the time in 2016, he was going by the Twitter name, this is 2016, remember, Ricky Vaughn, like the Charlie Sheen character in Major League. And he, as the charge was, he was charged with a federal crime in orchestrating a voter suppression scheme. Well, how do you do that if he's just a meme guy? Well, just that. The meme that got him in trouble, and a meme being, a funny picture post, whatever. They kind of like, I always think of memes as like the new social commentary. It's like the new cartoons that you used to see in papers. Well, what he did was he mimicked Hillary Clinton's, this is 2016, Hillary Clinton's campaign ads. And the one that got him in real trouble was, and you've probably seen it over the years, save the line. Vote by texting, don't mail in, vote, essentially I'm paraphrasing, by texting this number to vote for Hillary. Again, it was a fake, it wasn't. So apparently there were something like 4,900 unique phone numbers texted the number. People who actually thought they were voting by doing that, supposedly. So they went after this guy. Douglas Mackey is his real name, with the full force of the law, and they charged him with federal voter election interference over a meme, and they went after him with the full bore. And when they announced, and he did spend some time in jail before appeals and the process. Again, remember, 2016, this is going back to. He fought it. A bunch of freedom fighters volunteered their legal efforts and their legal minds and expertise towards this to fighting it again. But if you ever go back and you look at some of the comments from the DOJ, the Department of Justice, on how they tried to vilify this guy for a meme. It was unbelievable. Like stomping up and down and celebrating and like doing a home run trot saying, this is a win for voter integrity and we're going to stop this from ever happening again and we're going to crash and we're going to clamp down. And I mean, the full force of the Department of Justice decided to make an example of Douglas Mackey, the meme guy. Jump ahead years later. This is an interview. This is before he got cleared and won his case. This is an interview he did with, I think the podcaster is Brianna Morello, I think. I apologize if I'm getting that wrong. But earlier this year, while still on appeal and still fighting this, he did an interview. Because the word was, once Trump was in there, they were going to offer him a pardon. Like he could get off scot-free and drop all this crap and all this, and free. And he decided not to take it. I don't know if I'd have the guts to do that if I had a pardon on the table after fighting this thing for how many years? Close to 10. But he did. And here's what he said, and here's his reason why.
I would rather we win in the appeal system at this time than ask President Trump for a pardon, because if we win, it's most likely going to set a precedent that is positive for liberty-loving Americans, either on the issue of venue, which is we need to restrict the ability of the DOJ just to prosecute whoever they want in whatever district they want, just by saying, internet tweets went across a wire.
So he, no one's confirmed this, but the word is, could have gotten pardoned if he wanted to. And he turned it down. And guess what? This week he won. He won on appeal. He won his case. He's a free man. That's balls right there. That is guts. Holy cow. And this is why I say this is a win for all of us. You may disagree with what he did and trying to, fool the less intelligent people who are out there. Let's face it. I mean, if you see a meme to vote and this is your vote for a certain candidate, you're not the brightest bulb in the pack, you know what I'm saying? But still, over a political social commentary picture meme, this guy was going to spend most of his life in jail. This is what they were doing. On the political side of things, this reminds me, if things hadn't gone the way they had gone in this last election we had in November of 24, freedom of speech was on the line. And that's no joke. That's not hyperbole. I'm not hyping it up. Guys like him, for sure, but everybody else too, if you happen to have an opinion that went opposite of the current mainstream, if they can come after him, they could come after you and me and everybody else. So things did turn out the right way. And also a big factor in this was Elon buying Twitter and turning it into X. And of course, people like him, Doug Mackey, fighting for his rights and everybody else's. That's a story not enough people are talking about. That's a massive win for free speech. So good for you. A lot of guts to do what he did. All right. This is another case. We'll wrap this up with this one. And this is another feel-good story, believe it or not. And it's about what used to be called another conspiracy theory, right? Well, first of all, how many conspiracy theories have turned out to be just about dead on? Not all of them. No, not all of them provable. But here's the great thing these days. You're not called, don't ever worry about being called a conspiracy theorist these days, when even the director of the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, that's Lee Zeldin, is coming out saying, hey, these contrails and geoengineering everybody's wondering about? We've all actually, you've seen it wherever you live. I see it a lot in Florida. The lines in the sky. And is it cloud seeding? Is that really a thing? All these crazy floods we've had these days. Never be afraid to ask the question, especially when something like this comes out now. Check this out. Now, what's the rule? All we want in this stuff, and you want to cut down on conspiracy theories, then be transparent. All Americans, all regular, everyday working Americans want is just transparency. Just tell us what you know and be truthful about it. Well, this is a big step, and I congratulate this guy. Lee Zeldin, talking about what they know, and they'll publish it.
Everything we know about contrails to solar geoengineering will be in there. That means that anyone who reads through this information will know as much about these topics as I do as EPA administrator. To anyone who's ever looked up to the streaks in the sky and asked, what the heck is going on?
I have.
Or seen headlines about private actors and even governments looking to blot out the sun in the name of stopping global warming.
Like in Europe, yeah.
We've endeavored to answer all of your questions at the links on your screen.
And I encourage you to go to the EPA there and check out some of those links. I did. It's interesting. All we're asking for is transparency. That's all. But again, because people ask, it's like Elon says, we're the media now. It's true. That's a result of people getting hold of information now and enough people asking the right questions. That's how things become transparent. That's a great, great win. To follow up on this, remember Nicole Shanahan? You probably haven't seen her in the news too much. She's the lady who was running. She was Bobby Kennedy Jr.'s, RFK Jr.'s running mate before he dropped out in his bid for president and became, the HHS director. Anyway, she's been on this issue for a long, long time, and she says she has a whistleblower. Transparency. Maybe this will come out too. Let's see.
This feels like the right moment to share. I have been speaking with a whistleblower over the past several weeks who has helped me really understand what's happening in our skies. They've given me information that could shed real light on these programs, who's behind them, where the funding's coming from, and what we can do to stop them.
Yeah, that's all people are asking for is transparency. That's all. Now, the argument may continue. Oh, they didn't reveal anything. It's another cover-up. Other people will be out there. You'll see it and hear at work saying, see, it's all true. Everything you said is true. Maybe. I don't know. I have a different angle on this. My angle is the win has already happened. That there are actually people like these two, the EPA administrator and Nicole Shanahan, who's a massive media presence, by the way, now. They're out with this information to try to get information and truth to people. This is already a win. And it came from people like you and me and normal people asking questions. And if enough of us ask questions, the truth eventually will come out. Great win. A great win already. Let's hope we get some truth on this. Can't mess with Mother Nature? Good God. And maybe it turns out to be nothing. Who the heck knows? Have yourself an excellent Friday. This is the truth. This is what we know. Make it a wicked awesome weekend. By the way, if you are on the weekend catching up on stuff or you're listening or watching this later on, just do me a favor. I know everybody on social media does it, but give me a follow on it because I appreciate it so much so that you know and put your notifications on for when we do go live. And also, on the weekend, past couple we've done this and it's gone over pretty well. Just on the weekend, I try to take a different angle on all the stuff we learned during the week, and I have a weekend mindset reset and how to think about all this crap and how to take the good out of all this and turn all this bad news into good news. So I'll have another one of those probably coming out tomorrow morning, if not then on Sunday. So that'll be on all the social media channels. Thanks for following. I appreciate it so much. Audio podcast will be posted in just a few minutes. That's growing too. Make sure you download that wherever you like to get your audio podcasts. And just make it a great one. Takeaway? Let's get a takeaway from the Superman movie. Despite what anybody says, you can't really give anything a review, whether it's woke or not, until you can judge it for yourself. We know that already, but sometimes it's just good to have a reminder. But other than that, have a wicked awesome weekend. Be safe, too. We'll talk to you later.